we're coming up with a tamper-proof syringe. For example, at Baptist, they do all of their insulin by individual syringes. They draw it up in the pharmacy and send that up to each patient for each dose each day because that's the most cost-effective way. But they have to tamper-proof each syringe, so we have to come up with something that could, make the tamper-proofing process more cost-effective and easier to do.
Is there any way to attach a piece of plastic or something so that the plunger can't be depressed until it's removed or popped off?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Unless this plastic thing can be part of the actual plunger where you have a needle cap.
Because
Can you not
messed
have a
with
cap
in any
that
way.
has a locking thing?
Why can't you just
So
have
you
an
lock it
entire
into place
plastic
and then it
covering?
pops it off?
All you would need is the thing on the plunger. Because once you take that off and someone messes with it, then you need one thing on there.
Yeah, I think you just need to tamper-proof the
And those-
plunger. Then you could have a locking mechanism on your needle cap that locks it into place, and then once you've drawn up the medicine, and then if it's broken on that part, then it's tampered with.
But
Why can't you put it in a plastic baggie and seal it?
Plastic case, like a toothbrush case or something. You draw off the medication in the syringe, put the whole thing in a plastic case, put the tape around the plastic case. Therefore, it's protected.
What if you had, the flu shots we get that are already drawn up?
Mm-hmm.
We just screw a needle on?
Yeah.
Well, what if you draw up whatever with the needle that comes on the syringe, and then you take your tamper-proof top with the cap on it and screw that on?
Expand on that.
Okay, well, the cap, obviously, it has to be like some kind of can, like Cool Whip or whatever, where you could just peel off that plastic thing that keeps it sealed or whatever, and then once you've done that, you can use it.
So you're saying we can take basically a regular syringe and the cap on it, when you're recapping it after you've drawn up the dose, you can engage.
No, I'm saying you drop your dose and then you take that whole needle off.
And we're screw on a new needle that has that device.
Just like when we have a flu shot and it's already, like in the syringe.
I see what you're saying. So why can't we just make a syringe that, it's a 1 ml or a half ml syringe that the cap itself does essentially that. When you put it back on, you have to push it, you push it down far enough so that it, at that point, can only be twisted off, and it would, just like in a soda bottle or
where when you put it on the dose, you've seen a diastat thing where you have to set it at 5 milligrams, and then you push that thing down,
and it locks
that thing down, it's locked. You can't change the dose, and it would have to be something like that.
But what I'm saying is that there's a piece on the cap that you can basically fold down to click onto the plunger, so that it can't be removed until it's time to dose the
But that doesn't
medicine. The cap won't be able to be removed until you break it from the plunger.
So you're talking about one long thing.
Just something that the cap itself, once you recap the needle, is going to engage the tamper-proof mechanism, and it's going to hold the plunger and the cap in place so that the cap can't be removed until you're ready to administer the dose.
If you've drawn up your whatever, if there was something on there that you could just push down to keep it
in place. Okay, but could we not incorporate that into the cap, so that way we have something that we can tamper-proof the needle and the plunger?
Basically, a zip tie.
But also,
What about one piece of plastic
and
that
safety,
will attach to the
plastic case,
plunger
put the whole thing
and
in.
to the lens, the
That's
needle
a good idea.
cap?
It's like the link.
It snaps in place and has to be broken off.